Good morning, everybody. It is so great to be with you in this manner, this beautiful morning. My name is Reverend Eliza Bloom Robinson. I am your transitional consultant, and today is our third Sunday in Advent. Advent is, as a season, a time of preparation. It is a time to move through a series of steps for spiritual awakening. So we start with hope. And hope is so important, especially if you've got stuff going on in your life or your world where it feels hopeless. So hope is the beginning, the glimmer, the beginning of the step into faith. Once we gather a little bit of hope in the cells of our being, so to speak, in our awareness, a glimmer of hope can lead to a sense of peace. From peace, we move into this week, which is all about love. And from love, we follow up love with joy and the birth of the Christ. Now, in Unity, we have a step ahead because we already believe that we are birthing the Christ consciousness, right? We are certainly celebrating the birth of the babe, Jesus, who was born in the manger on that. Actually, it was nowhere near Christmas, but that's another talk, right? On that day that we celebrate. But the birth of the babe who became the man, who became our way shower, our teacher, our brother, is what we celebrate. But even more than that, what we celebrate is the awakening, the birthing of the next level of expression of our own Christ consciousness. So there's our hope each and every year through Advent. It is our personal, individual intention through Advent to awaken, to birth that Christ consciousness anew. Now, the birthing of the Christ consciousness is not obviously a one-time thing, it's ever evolving. And so as we play out Advent this year, as we lean into Christmas this year, I invite you to really take an internal look at the messages that are being prepared for you, the messages that are being presented to you, at the opportunities that we have to join together in the celebration of that which we call Christmas. So as we lean into, right, as we lean into this season as our own personal journey, can you begin to get a glimmer of hope for yourself, for this ministry, for the world, a glimmer of hope? Can you begin to get a sense of that peace that passes all understanding? That peace that is irrelevant to anything going on in the world or in your life or even in your mind right now? Can you begin to lean into the possibility of experiencing love in maybe a new way? Can you begin to feel the adventure of Advent happening within your being, within your consciousness? This year we honor the birth of you, the birth of me, the birth of our Christ consciousness. So I'm start with a riddle. What is the special gift that you already have that when given away, you have even more of? It is a gift you already have and you can't overuse or ever lose. So no matter what you think or do, this gift remains. What is this gift? It is God's unlimited, unfailing, and unconditional love that is within you. Third week of Advent, we celebrate love. Not the romantic, emotional love, although that's fabulous when it happens, but love as a principle, love as the foundation of our being, the great harmonizing principle, the pure essence of our being that binds together humanity. Love is the inner quality that sees good everywhere. It insists that all is good or that good will come from all. And By refusing to see other than love, you actually activate the principle of love and begin to see more and more love. But it's not enough to only feel the love. It must compel us into action. Love wants to live. When we allow love to live through us, it takes on a life of its own and it returns to you tenfold. It's only principle, it's only guaranteed, and only all of the time. Love in action is clear, it's generous, it's an infinite fountain, and it has really good boundaries. So I want to share one of my favorite stories. It's the story of Santa's secret. It's a little bit long, so put on your listening ears and pretend that I'm sitting around a fireside and reading to you, specifically to you, and I am going to read it. So. On Christmas Eve, a young boy with light in his eyes looked deep into Santa's, to Santa's surprise, and said as he nestled on Santa's broad knee, "I want your secret. Tell it to me." He leaned up and whispered in Santa's good ear, "How do you do it? Year after year, I want to know how, as you travel about, giving gifts here and there, you never run out. How is it, dear Santa, that in your pack of toys, you have plenty for all of the world's girls and boys? Stays so full, never empties as you make your way from rooftop to homes large and small, from nation to nation, reaching them all." And Santa smiled kindly and said to the boy, "Don't ask me hard questions. Don't you want a toy?" But the child shook his head, and Santa could see that he needed the answer. "Now listen to me." He told the small boy with the light in his eyes, "My secret will make you both sad and wise. The truth is that my sack is magic inside. It holds millions of toys for my Christmas Eve ride. But although I do visit each girl and each boy, I don't always leave them a gaily wrapped toy. Some homes are hungry, some homes are sad. Some homes are desperate. Some homes are bad. Some homes are broken and children there grieve. Those homes I visit, but what should I leave? My sleigh is filled with the happiest stuff, but for homes where despair lives, toys aren't enough. So I tiptoe in, kiss each girl and boy, and pray with them that they'll be given the joy of the spirit of Christmas, the spirit that lives in the heart of the dear child who gets not, but gives. If God only hears me and answers my prayer, when I visit next year, what I will find there are homes filled with peace, with giving and love, and boys and girls gifted with light from above. It's a very hard task, my smart little brother, to give toys to some and to give prayers to others. But the prayers are the best gifts indeed, for God has a way of meeting each need. That's part of the answer. The rest, my dear youth, is that my sack is magic, and that is the truth. In my sack, I carry on Christmas Eve day more love than a Santa could ever give away. The sack never empties of love or of joys, because inside it are prayers and hopes, not just toys. The more that I give, the fuller it seems, because giving is my way of fulfilling dreams. And do you know something? You've got a sack too. It's as magic as mine, and it's inside of you. It never gets empty. It's full from the start. It's the center of lights and of love. It's your heart. And if on this Christmas you want to help me, don't be so concerned with the gifts, with your gifts beneath your tree. Open that sack, call your heart and share your joy, your friendship, your wealth, your care. The light in the small boy's eyes was glowing. "Thanks for the secret. I've got to get going." "Wait, Little boy said, Santa, don't go. Will you share? Will you help? Will you use what you know? And just for a moment, the small boy stood still, touched his heart with his small hand, and whispered, I will. The author of that reading, to my knowledge, is unknown. But it's that love. It's that love that keeps giving. It's that love that is principle that we want to activate this week in our series of Advent. Love is truly the reason for the season. Love can reach beyond discord. It can draw us back to itself. Jesus gave us the great commandment. I shall give you a new commandment, and the greater of these is love. You shall love yourself as your neighbor. You shall love yourself as I have loved you. Love, not an emotional, not a noun, as an action verb, as a way of being. And so if we become willing to stand firmly in love and allow it to flow, it expands. Love is the expression of completeness. It's flooding the gaps of perceived challenges with its pure, vital essence. So if you have a gap, if you have a rub, if you have a challenge or an issue or something is getting you, as life does on the planet, right? Then here at Unity, we are here to offer tools to face that challenge, to walk through that challenge, to stand with you when you might not think you'll be able to take the next breath, or might not think you can open your heart to love. We've got you. We've got you, and we've got each other, and we've got ourselves, which means that I'm God in the same way that you're God. When we stand committed to that love, no matter what the evidence, it activates, it expands. When we stand, no matter what life looks like, with love, in love, as love, it melts often. It opens pathways often. It is the fuel, if you will, to transcend those challenges. And every time you do that in love, your heart will break open more so. Every time your heart breaks open more so, there's room for more love, for more light, for more God. Every time, guaranteed. So love is not a feeling, but a principle, a foundational principle. It requires nothing of us other than to be expressed. Ready for some jokes? A group of 4 and 5-year-olds was asked the question, what does love mean? Billy, age 4, says, when someone loves you, the way they say your name is different. You just know your name is safe in their mouth. Isn't that great? When you see somebody who's having a challenge, ask them their name and say their name in a way that makes them know their name is safe in your mouth. Terry, age 4, says this, love is what makes you smile even when you're tired. Let that love that is within you, that potential, that guiding principle, activate a smile on your face right now. Nice. Love is what's in the room with you at Christmas if you stop opening presents and listen. That's from Bobby, who's 7 years old. Nika, who's age 6, said, if you want to learn to love better, you should start with a friend you hate. We could use a few more or a few million more Nikas in the world, perhaps, right? But can you rise to that challenge? And hate's a strong word, but somebody you disagree with, somebody who's on the opposite end of the polarity of whatever it is we're talking about, right? Somebody who gets underneath your skin. Can you, as Nika suggests, love them? Not necessarily their actions, but the truth of who they are. And the winner, Leo Buscaglia, had a contest many, many years ago, and he was looking for the most loving or the most caring child. And this is the winner of that. The winner of that was a 4-year-old boy whose next door neighbor was an elderly gentleman who had recently lost his wife. And upon seeing the man cry, the little boy went into the old gentleman's yard, walked up his porch, and sat on the man's lap. And he just sat there for a long time. And before he sat there for a long time, but before too long, after he was done, after he sat there for a long time, he climbed down off and he went home. And his mother said, What did you say to our neighbor? And he said, Nothing. I just helped him cry. Makes you cry, doesn't it? I just helped him cry. We could take a lesson from that little boy as well. If we've got people around us who are hurting, we don't have to fix it. We can't fix it. We just open space for them to cry, for them to be. Love, again, is not just a feeling, it's a principle. Love the Lord God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your being. And love yourself and love others. Love is the expression of our completeness. Think about your own life when you're most loving. It's when those places when you're centered and you feel good. It's easy to love. But when you get off-centered or you get, grinchy or snarky, it's usually something going on. But love anyway. Love anyway. When you notice something in yourself this holiday season, what's like, for whatever reason, right? A thought or an action or a belief or whatever it doesn't matter. Every time you notice in yourself that you're snarky, it's my new favorite word, stop. Go, how could I choose love? If I am love embodied and expressing, how do I be? How does love in me be? And from that place of being, then what are the actions? The actions could be to sit on somebody's lap and cry, or hold them in your lap and cry. It could be to put a smile on your face. It could be to open a door. It could be to be kind to a neighbor or a checkout person in the stores. It could be somebody letting somebody in traffic. It could be any of a million little things. A million little things you may do anywhere, but this year, or do anyway, but this year, activate it with a consciousness of love. Love must compel me to action. If we love this season and far beyond in a way that changes us, let the love flowing in and through you change you at your core. Let it change you at depth. You first. And then your doing becomes embodied, integrated, permeated with this love that might not even, people might not be able to put words on it, but it becomes palpable, right? So whatever you have going on this week, bring yourself as love to it. Bring yourself as the love that wants to live in you and through you and as you. And when you let it, it takes on a life of its own. So in that challenge, loving yourself first is sometimes the hardest, but also the most important. So however you have to do it, if you have to love a child, a grandchild, a sunset, a pet first to activate activate that love in you, then do it. But let it wash over you, let it fill you, let it permeate you, and then take love into action in the world, in kindness, in generosity, in compassion. Love is one of our steps in awakening that Christ consciousness within us. Love is the way and the life and the truth. Love is the answer to every single question. Will you join me in choosing love today? Choosing love all week, all season. And as you do that, and as you build the muscles of love, you become more awakened, more love embodied. You become more conscious of all the love there is on the planet. And so if you do so choose, say with me out loud, today I choose love. Together? Today I choose love. This Christmas season, I choose love. Together? This Christmas season, I choose love. Let's take these thoughts into our time of meditation. So take a deep breath in and feel that love already activated in you as you close your eyes. Notice where it is in your body, where it's activating. Is it in your mind? Is it in your heart? Is it in your palms, perhaps? Is it in your belly? Love as our foundation of being. Love is the great harmonizing factor. It is the harmonizing factor, the pure essence of being that binds us together as humanity. And so bring your awareness to your heart. And let your heart be activated with love. Today, we do that by opening our heart. Feel your physical heart opening like a lotus petal. And as you open your heart today, first feel it filled with love, the love of God, the love of Spirit. Let your heart be filled and activated with love for no reason other than you become willing. And as your heart is filling up, just imagine like a vessel being filled. And allow it to fill up and overflow that vessel of your heart. And feel that love moving. Filling your torso, filling your limbs, moving down your hips and legs to your feet. Feel your feet connected to the ground in love. Feel that same love moving up through your torso, up your neck, through your head, rising up through the top of your head and coming out through your forehead, your crown chakra, your third eye. Feel it moving back down your neck, your arms, and radiating in your palms. You might feel a physical tingling in your hands, in your palms right now. If so, open your hands. You can even put them up. And feel the love that you are filled with, the love that you are radiating, emanating from your palms, from your feet, from your crown, from your third eye, from your heart. Let that activate in your heart. Let it just flood out from your heart to the world. And as each person here right now has activated love, is expanding love, feel it connecting with each other, and the power becomes exponential. The love in this room is palpable. And feel it like a beacon rising up above the sanctuary or whatever room you're in. and feel it radiating out. It's not that we send it, it would just expand it. And become aware of love in every continent of this planet, in every ocean of this planet, in every country, in every person. And feel how this love that you already are is the greatest gift. To receive it, to give it, to be it. Just bask in that love for a moment. And notice that that love is activating every cell of your being. And in essence, birthing, midwifing, awakening that Christ potential in you. In each of us. And together, in love, we awaken a newborn Christ consciousness. And so it is. And so we let it be. Amen. And amen. So much love. Merry Christmas.